Alright guys, these are CryptoGodJohn's results. This was in the past, most of these were in the past cycle, 360x, 170x, 140, 125, 120, 111, 80, a 40x ROI. These two down here are in the current cycle, the upcoming super cycle, which we're all very excited for. He's got an 18 or a 19x on OXO, which we'll be talking about in this video, as well as Actis, a nice sweet 25x return. But this guy is the second highest performing trader that we track here on the channel and in our inner circle. We look for the biggest influencers who can influence the market and the best traders who can actually call the market, track their wallets, track their socials, so that we can make the exact same plays that they're making and get the same results for ourselves. And with the market rumored to be going into the super cycle, we've been talking about it here on the channel all week. All the factors, all the variables are coalescing into one, ready for that rocket ship. We want to make sure our bags are packed with the right tokens. We don't want to be left standing watching that rocket ship go up with all our friends on it while we cry to ourselves. Okay, let's get into this thing. This is the important part right here. So John tweeted, AI coins will be top performers over the next 3 to 4 months. And if you are skeptical, like I was a little bit skeptical because CryptoGodJohn has some not so good calls from time to time. Alpha Seeker said what a lot of people were thinking. I hope so, because you said the same 3 to 4 months ago. And John replied, and 5 months before that, I was right and everyone loved me. Just because prices are down, my conviction for AI remains very high. There we go, conviction for AI remains very high. Every alt in the market has been decimated. AI is going to rip again. I'm confident in it. Now, this is why I'm bringing this up here. This is since basically the last year. We can click on 1 year here to get the exact 1 year. You can see Bitcoin, which is the music to the market. It basically dictates how much liquidity is in the market and how bullish people are. It went from 26 grand all the way up to $72.3 thousand. I think it went a little bit higher than that, $73,000 there. This is when you got some insane returns on CryptoGodJohn's best calls, once Bitcoin gave it the air to breathe. However, you can see it's been stagnant, if not pulling back all the way down to about $53,000, $54,000 here. This is when everyone's been bleeding out, as Alpha Seeker has felt. However, the rumor is that Bitcoin is now going to soar past the 6-figure mark into the $100,000 plus level, and therefore let this portfolio, which we're going to be breaking down in this video, make millionaires. Literally be making millionaires if you hold the right projects, according to CryptoGodJohn, who has a fantastic track record. So he tweeted, core holdings, big caps, Solana, Render, Tau, and Ton. And if you don't know what big cap is, it's basically ones with large market caps, bigger size cryptos that basically have already done some pretty decent runs. Mid caps are the middle tier, and then low caps are the lower tier market cap level, which have higher upside but also more risk. And then you got the micro caps down the bottom, which are just the degenerate potential 1000x plays, which we do look for here on the channel, but it is obviously way more risky. His mid cap holdings: OXO, PAL, Dsync, Anyone, Hash, and Carrot. He also says a lot of other coins I'm holding, but this is what I'm focusing on during this correction and building. I don't really know, it doesn't really make 100% sense there, but he's focusing on it. Where we track their wallets. That's what we do here on the channel. Like I said, we get the biggest influencers, which CryptoGodJohn is one, and best traders, which actually CryptoGodJohn fits into both those categories. Track their wallets, track their socials, and build up not only portfolios of exactly what they're holding, because we can see it, but also getting wallet alerts when they buy into new projects or even buy into projects that they already hold, like we've seen CryptoGodJohn scoop up a few tokens recently. We're going to get into that into this video. But you can see I've sorted this into 3 sections. Accumulating big caps, which is the Sol, Render, Tau, and Ton, which have got 2 deep in AI sort of tokens here. Solana, we should all know what that is by now, and Ton, which was Telegram's official crypto, which separated from Telegram. You can see they have a little resistance dog icon in there, which is a little fun side quest for us, or side fact in this video for us, is that is one of Cassius Clay's big meme coin plays, and one of the really impressive calls that he makes. I think hit over 100x return on that. But that's not the exciting stuff for us now, although CryptoGodJohn may be holding those for some stability. What we really want to be looking at is the mid caps that he's accumulating. Now, we have gone through, I just read you out that he's holding a lot of other tokens. Here they are. This is what we do for you on this channel. We want you to succeed as much as possible. So we are deciphering all this info from the best traders and biggest influencers and letting you have it. You can access this sheet. I'll link it up in the description below for you if you want to come and have a look yourself. but have a glimpse here. These ones have much lower market caps, and I've actually already recorded this with my brother, who's the lead researcher inside our inner circle, which is our paid community, link in the description below. We've gone through and given you the overview and John's positions on all these tokens in this video publicly, however. So if you are a member of the inner circle, you can go and watch that. That should be live now. And if you aren't a member, the link is in the description below for you to go and watch that. In this video here on YouTube, however, we will be talking about the mid caps that he's accumulating, what he's buying, what he's holding strong in, what sort of price projections he has for him. So once again, our bags are packed with the best possible portfolio for us to get on that spaceship and ride it to the moon. Let's start at the very top together. OXO. You've hopefully heard of OXO before. If you haven't, it's CryptoGodJohn's #1 conviction. You can see it's had some nice pullback recently from 10 cents up to 16 cents. But again, we're looking at this little tiny thing, but there's this giant slip and slide that absolutely went from 50 cents, of which I sold 40% of my bag plus at 48 cents. I've been timing the market so well. I've got literally like 6 or 7 in a row, and I've been so impressed in hindsight how perfectly I've timed it. I don't put it down to skill. Honestly, just intuition and not really wanting to lose too much once I'm already up, because I did personally buy OXO in at about 6 cents, and we picked this up on our wallet tracker tracking CryptoGodJohn's wallet inside the inner circle. He picked it up at 1.5 cents. The current market cap is 162 million. However, it has pulled back a little bit. It was almost at that $500 million level. And if you want to know what they do, they're basically a privacy decentralized exchange. Think like Uniswap, but all the transactions are private. On their Twitter, they say they're an all-in-one privacy exchange with 100% of utility income distributed to OXO holders in ETH, creating a passive income stream, which we're creating a Web3 project at the moment, and this is the one line that you want to stay away from. So these guys have clearly registered their business in a jurisdiction where they can say whatever they want about their project, but it does create an income stream. If you are holding that token, it's going to pay you back based on the fees that the people using that DEX are paying. This tweet, however, summarizes it all really well. And if you come across this video, for example, and you're like, okay, he holds about 25 different tokens that we've got tracked. Maybe if I've got $10,000, we just put $400 across every single token and have our money evenly distributed. But you have to realize, John has favorites. He's weighted each of these picks. For example, some tokens down here, he only holds a couple $1,000s worth. But if we come up here, something like OXO, he holds over $2 million dollars worth, should I say. And he says in this tweet that it's still his #1 conviction play, and it's looking sexy AF. It's breaking out now, which it is, looking for a move back towards 38 cents. There's your first price target for him. I bought and added as much as I can to my bags during this correction over the last few months. Now this is verified. Let me pull up our wallet tracker and scroll back, and you will be able to see CryptoGodJohn alerts back here of him picking up, here we go, OXO. He bought $2,500 worth there, which is not a crazy amount. But if we keep going back past these alerts, here he picked up another $28,000 worth of OXO tokens. Remember, guys, if you want to get these alerts as soon as they come in, and let me just show you real quick how it works. You can customize your alerts for which influencer you like. We go and hunt down their wallets for you, load them up, and you can literally get buy and sell alerts when they're getting into these new projects. John says that the OXO is launching their mainnet and the fundamentals are about to catch up to price, which I don't know. Isn't it supposed to be price is going to catch up to fundamentals? Because we don't want anything catching up to price. We want the price to be going. But anyway, we'll keep on pushing on. John tweeted, OXO, putting my money where my mouth is. Again, this is validated on the blockchain. Scooped another $300,000 worth over the last few weeks. He says this is an 8-figure play, $10 million plus play, or zero. It's my highest conviction play at the moment. Strong words. If you're looking for one token to trade like CryptoGodJohn, he says OXO. Now, he's a little bit biased. He's got millions of dollars worth, so he wants it to go up. But you can see this arrow, once again, is projected it to go back up to the 30 cents. He said 38 cents in the other tweet. However, in this tweet, it's a very different number. He says, honestly, might have to change my OXO targets to $10, which I believe this is hyperbole. Like, it may get there. It's possible it's going to get there. I personally don't think it is, and John is known, even on his 360x call of Chainlink in the last cycle, he thought it was going to do twice as well as it did end up doing. He thought it was going to be a 720x, so do take them with a grain of salt. But even with a grain of salt, you can get some pretty incredible results from CryptoGodJohn. Now, that'll take us to the second token in the mid-cap portfolio for CryptoGodJohn. It's PAL. Now, I'm not going to show you anything to do with PAL. Put simply, I'm very biased. I don't like it. I tried the Telegram app. It was a piece of crap. I think they're building some new stuff in there, and I know even Alex Becker is very bullish on PAL, and he holds a lot of PAL. CryptoGodJohn holds a lot of PAL. It's probably going to do really well. It did get up to an $800 million market cap. I just got a weird thing in my head. I know this is crypto, and a lot of the time the hype comes way before the utility, but I'm just not personally a fan. If you want to go research it, it's called PAAL. Go have a look and see if you like it for yourself. But just for me, they may be getting better and better as the future goes on, but I'm okay missing out. I did actually miss out the first time on a 10x on it, and I was fine with it just because I didn't love the project. Next up, putting my biases aside as much as possible, Dsync is at a $170 million market cap. Let's pull up the chart here. It's actually held on pretty well. You remember March was the peak where Bitcoin allowed all the alts to really have a lot of upside to it. And funny enough, this is basically just following the OXO price point. I mean, it peaked at 48 cents. Now it's down to 17 cents. Guys, the market is what's dictating everything, which is why we think these things could be going parabolic very soon, because Bitcoin is going to go parabolic. And this is just a leveraged trade on Bitcoin. Destra described themselves, Destra is Dsync, as the first on-chain one-stop solution for all your DePIN, cloud, and AI computing needs. So they got all the buzzwords there: DePIN, cloud, AI computing, crypto, blockchain. CryptoGodJohn says that Dsync is one of my biggest holdings, so one of his biggest holdings. Good to know the weighting that he's putting on this specific token. I've been holding it for months, expecting it to go beast mode once the market returns. Again, if you can take one thing away from this video that isn't the individual coins that John is personally holding, it's once the market returns. The market is speculated to be returning very soon. It may not, it may still be pushed out a year or so. I'm slightly skeptical, but every other factor is really pointing to this being the start of the super cycle. John says, when AI catches a bid again, and it will, Dsync is my favorite pick. There you go. If you want just one AI DePIN play from John, it is Dsync. Still holding my full bag, nothing's changed. Now that is true. He is holding his full bag. We haven't got him selling it on our wallet tracker. However, we don't have him buying it either. So he's more bullish on OXO because he's actually scooping that up. Where Dsync, he is not selling, he's holding, which means he's still obviously a big believer in it, but not as big as if he was scooping it up right now. Still holding my full bag, nothing changed. Team continues to keep delivering and growing, which is good. Patient pays big, in my opinion. You can see down here on the graph, he's got the projected chart up to about 41 cents as a retracement from the 14-cent mark. Now, the next token is Anyone. And maybe you've heard of Anyone, maybe you haven't. You've probably heard of what it was before its rebrand. It used to be called Ator, but then the Tor browser had some problems with Ator. It actually plunged the price of the token at that point. And then they've rebranded to Anyone. They're currently at, as you can see the first time in this video, below $100 million market cap at $87 million, a $77 million circulating value, currently at about 90 cents. Remember that, because we're going to go through a couple of examples when John's talking about it at a bit of a higher price point. You can see same path here from July when they had the new token available to be swapped over from the Ator token. They've just been slowly bleeding out, and then a tiny little bounce back here at the bottom. Now, what does Anyone do? Well, if you go to their Twitter, you'll be left with no idea. The foundation for anyone, that's all they write here. If you go to their website, seamless privacy and data control for anyone. The Anyone protocol enables any app to instantly and easily run on a decentralized privacy network. Universal privacy powered by DePIN. Put as simply as possible, my best understanding of this, that it is a network that allows decentralized use of VPNs. If you use a VPN, it's a centralized company that is actually running that VPN. However, using Anyone, people have nodes distributed all around the world, and it's a decentralized version of that. And the blockchain and the token basically serve as incentive structures for people to keep up and improve this ecosystem. CryptoGodJohn said that Ator/Anyone, remember that's the same project now, one of my favorite holds for mid to long term. Buying down here is easy money for what is to come. Now have a look at the price, $1.44. Remember I said to remember the price? Do you remember it? I hope so. If you don't, it's 87 cents. Which, I mean, CryptoGodJohn's bullish at $1.44. He's got to be pretty bullish at the price it's at right now. He wrote, Anyone. I've been holding my bag for 1+ year and still have high conviction that this is a monster play. The team is cooking. So he's looking at the fundamentals, what the team's actually building, and he thinks that this is going to be a big time monster performer. That doesn't give you an exact amount that it's going to perform, but I don't know. monsters seem pretty big to me. Now, talking about pretty big, we have 2 tokens left. But before we jump into them, I want to jump down again. If you've been watching my YouTube channel, I've mentioned it a couple of times because it's been impressive. CryptoGodJohn called a meme coin. He's historically not amazing at calling meme coins, but he called JHH. Now, we picked this up, of course, in our wallet tracker inside our inner circle. If you want to get access to this wallet tracker and you want to turn on CryptoGodJohn's alerts, join our inner circle. The link is in the description below. It's a perfect time to do it before the super cycle actually hits and all of these tokens skyrocket and you miss out. So we saw him buy some Hash AI, which we'll be talking about again in this video. The original tweet that he sent out about JHH, which it's important to note he's actually partnered with the JHH token. A lot of these tokens that he's promoting, he has partnership deals with, which means he gets free money, anywhere between like $20,000 and $300,000 depending on which project. When he first promoted this, however, it was at just 9 cents. And if we jump across to see how it's performed, I've talked about this a couple of times, but every video I seem to make, it just finds itself a new high. It almost hit a $50 million market cap. He mentioned it, recommended it on his Twitter. We picked it up inside the Inner Circle wallet tracker at $9 million market cap. For a very brief hour, it was at more than a 5x return. Now, to give you my personal thoughts on how I play a token like this, well, we got in as soon as that tweet came through the wallet tracker. We wrote it up. Once it hit about this spot here at about the $28 million market cap, we're pretty happy with a 3x. So we took out almost the initial amount we put in. We then just did a big breakdown inside the inner circle. So I finished recording it with Tristan. And we've done an overview and CryptoGodJohn's perspective on all these projects. And we're going to be individually breaking these down over the next week for you before we move across to the next influencer, which is probably going to be Alex Becker. Then we're going to move across to the next one and keep doing these portfolio breakdowns for you inside the inner circle. So not only do you get the wallet tracking alerts, but you also get these token and portfolio breakdowns. So we make sure our bags are packed perfectly. Because we did that breakdown, we saw CryptoGodJohn's not ideal track record with meme coins. We know he is partnered with it. It is already at a $38 million market cap. Now, this might go into the hundreds of millions. However, we took out, I think, another 50% there. So we're just letting the profits ride. Fingers crossed that one is going to keep going, but we'll have to wait and see. On to the second last token inside the actual mid caps is Hash AI. This one looks quite alluring here, $63 million market cap, much smaller. It's almost got a 4x, basically does have a 4x to go until it's the same size as something like PAL. If we have a look at the graph, it looks very familiar because as the pattern goes, and as I'm trying to drill into everyone's heads over and over again, these just reflect the Bitcoin price. If Bitcoin's rallying, everything's rallying. If Bitcoin's going down, everything's going down. This slowly went down as Bitcoin slowly went down. Currently at a 64 mil market cap, $54 million circulating market cap. What do? Well, they say they're revolutionary artificial intelligence that's optimizing crypto mining. Again, a couple of good buzzwords, crypto mining and AI. CryptoGodJohn says that Hash AI is definitely my favorite AI play, handshakes. The infrastructure expansions continue as we get closer to the long-awaited release of their node rental and leasing system. This was an interesting one. CryptoGodJohn tweeted that the top 5 mining market cap companies are past a $1.1 billion valuation. Now, he's not even just talking about crypto here. This is about blockchain mining companies in Web 2, the traditional world. He says Hash AI has a market cap of $150 million that utilizes AI. Now, do you remember what the market cap was now? The second test of the video, it was a 64 million. So it's less than half of the market cap when he actually made this tweet, being super bullish. So there's a lot more upside there. Expecting Hash to make a move towards a $1 billion market cap as the new $3 million expansion center goes live and more data centers are required. Now, how high does he think it's going to go? He alludes to it in this tweet here. Hash AI, literally about to become the #1 GPU marketplace in crypto. GPU is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Hash is currently at 100 mil. Remember, no, it's currently at 64 mil. So this was on the way down as he was making these bullish posts. Going to reprice to multi-billions over the next few months, which multi-billions is at least 2 billion, which would be a 40x return, is where he is speculating this can go. Remember, we take those with a grain of salt. However, give me a 5x. I'll be happy. Now, the next token on this mid-cap list and the last token is Carrot. And this is a very interesting friend of ours. So Carrot is currently priced at a $305 million fully diluted value. However, its circulating is just 36 million. You can see if we zoom out on this graph, it's been just bleeding down and to the right since June. Now, to give you some of my personal thoughts on this and how I've personally played this, we bought it at about 60 cents, must be about here, on a CryptoGodJohn recommendation, and it did go up to $1.20. So we got a murky 2x, almost a 2x on there. We took a decent amount out, however, not decent enough. We left a substantial amount still in there, and it bled all the way back down to 30 cents, where I personally still hold this, even though I know that this inflation is coming, and I know this inflation is going to absolutely drown out a lot of people. But my fingers are crossed that the super cycle comes. I think the inflation is actually, it could be a month or two away, could even be less than that. I'm not 100% sure, probably should have researched it before I started recording this video. But I am still holding it, one, because CryptoGodJohn is extremely bullish, which we're about to get into in a second, and two, because the super cycle might be able to eat up some of the inflation, as well as some new deflationary mechanics, which Carrot is pitching that they are going to be rolling out in their project. Let's get into it. Really can't stress how I truly believe Carrot and My Pet Hooligan can be the biggest AI and gaming bridge that brings together Web 2 and Web 3 for the first time ever. He wrote, Carrot is one of my top gaming picks. Hyped to be a part of the My Pet Hooligan fam. Hearing rumors I'm going to have a CGJ Hooli, which I'm guessing, based on My Pet Hooligan, it's just going to be a character in the game. I think this has massive potential when it comes to gaming and AI coins. My Pet Hooligan has potential to be the biggest game ever in crypto that bridges Web 3 and Web 2. Honestly, it looks like a very impressive game. He's not overselling that. However, this looks very unimpressive, almost equally unimpressive. So it almost leaves me at a net neutral. The game looks amazing. The inflation doesn't look amazing. However, Carrot tweeted, we've been listening and are working on a proposal that could benefit the Carrot community over time. Split/save. Not easy to say. Takes a percentage of every token used with factory smart contracts and puts them in a vault. As more Carrot is used, the vault grows. So basically they're thinking of a burn or a vault treasury mechanism that's going to be taking Carrot off the market. I'm not fully convinced yet. However, John says, glad to see you guys are taking a step in the right direction to making Carrot deflationary and with use case. Now that rounds out the mid caps, but I thought there was a couple of tweets that you might want to see before you go. This one here. John wrote, my aunt's portfolio, holding up good despite market carnage, up a little bit so far. This is his auntie's money. She gave him $20,000, you can see down here, $20,000 to build a crypto portfolio. And I thought this was interesting for two reasons. One, because he's putting his own family's hard-earned money into these projects, so he does truly believe in them. And two, you can actually see the ratio that he put them into each project, so you get an idea on which ones he was more bullish on. OXO, being his number one conviction play, looks to be the biggest allocation, and the others honestly could have just all been equal, and the market fluctuations would have changed the price, how much he holds of each one of them. But he's got Hash, OXO, Destra, Carrot. Interesting, there's no PAL here. I feel vindicated somewhat. Now, John, probably like you, also realizes that the big time ROIs don't come from coins with hundreds of millions of dollars of market cap like we went through, but they come from the ones that are either just launching where you get in on the ICO, or they come from the market caps in about the 7-figure range, from anywhere from 1 mil to 10 million or $9 million. And he says, what AI coin am I missing in my portfolio? Because he's on the look for the really small microcap tokens. Again, he tweeted, what coins am I missing in my portfolio that have 20 to 50x potential from here? These are the exciting ones, especially when that bull market is flying. The new tokens are going to be performing extremely well with much lower market caps, much higher ROI, much higher upside. And so if you don't want to be caught up in that mainstream retail money, make sure you join us in the inner circle where you can get access to the wallet tracker so you know exactly when he's buying these new projects. You also get access to the influencer portfolio breakdowns like the one we just recorded on CryptoGodJohn's entire portfolio. We're going to go on to the next influencers next. So if you want that, you want the wallet tracker, you want the alerts, go and join our inner circle. Link in the description below. I'm excited to see you there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.